Cyberpunk 2077 is dying. I don't care if you disagree. I mean, I really don't. But folks, the writing is on the wall. Many red flags here for Cyberpunk 2077, but you want to sit there and go, oh, Mako. There's no oh Michael about it. I'm a veteran video game critic. I'm not a hater. I'm critical because I care. And that new deep dive video for Cyberpunk 2077, it looked like shit on the bottom of my shoe. Let's go ahead and get right into it, folks. First of all, what happened to the graphics? You know, you have to remind yourself that Cyberpunk 2077 is running on hardware from 2013. Obviously, compromises are going to have to be made. And it seems like the more we see of this game as time goes along, the worse it gets. So, you know, you can sit there and say, well, Michael, this footage isn't representative of the final product. Sure, but that could go one of two ways. That could either make this look way much better than it currently does, or it could even be downgraded further, which I think that will indeed be the case, because again, you are running this game on 2013 technology. You know, these consoles came out so many years ago, bro. Right? That's the reality of the situation. And as such, you have moments here in this deep dive video where it's like, what in the shit is going on here? Keanu Reeves looks like garbage now, his character does. You have this moment here in the trailer where these pop cans come out of the vending machine, and it's like, what the who approved that? Who sat there and scrubbed through these frames and said, you know what, that looks good. Put that in the trailer. No, cut away. Why would you do a close-up of these pop cans coming out of the vending machine when it looks like nothing but shit on the bottom of my shoe? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But we put aside the graphics because it's not all about the graphics, okay? Despite what these Sony fanboys will tell you, it's not all about the graphics. But here's the reality of the situation, folks. The gameplay. Another thing that they didn't do a good job at demonstrating. You know, this video just so much deflated the hype. I sat there and I turned the video off. I watched the live stream and I couldn't even make it all the way through because you had this guy yapping and yapping and yapping. They love CD Projekt Red. They love to talk and 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 talk about their game. But they do a piss poor job at showing off their game. And if their game is as good as they would make it out to be, then the game would ultimately speak for itself. And that's what they need to do at this point going forward. If they're going to show more of their game, which I don't think that they will, but if they are going to show more of their game, they need to stop talking and they need to start showing, because if you show off the game in a way that makes sense, it's going to speak for itself. But here in this deep dive video, you had this guy explaining things constantly. Oh, we're in this district and we can do this and we can do that. And it's like, shut the hell up. You know what I mean? And the gameplay that they showed off, the more and more I see of this game, the more I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? This isn't going to be that revolutionary title that many people are making it out to be. And it's so sad. It's so sad because so many of you are buying into the hype. But this deep dive video, bro, it was the reality of the situation. It was a reality check that we desperately needed. This is Cyberpunk 2077. You don't like it? Tough luck. Because that's probably more than likely what you're going to get come next year. And the gameplay just looks so samey. It's like, man, we've been there and we've done that before. Sure, it might be a little bit more extensive here in Cyberpunk 2077, and it's obviously packaged and presented differently here in Cyberpunk 2077, but ultimately I came away from that deep dive video and I said to myself, you know what? They're going to have to do a hell of a lot more work to win me over, to get me there day one. And I think it starts, if they're going to show more gameplay in the future, I think it starts with ditching the narrator. Show us real, raw gameplay. Over 40 minutes. That's what they should have done in the first place. But obviously, they're not nearly as confident in this product as they would love you to believe. That's why they're editing things out and they're using, oh, well, we have spoilers as an excuse so they can doctor the footage up. Even with the footage doctored up, you have moments here in this deep dive video where it's like, Jesus, is this a Nintendo Switch port? You know what I mean? Is this game only on the Nintendo Switch? Because the graphics, man, unbelievably sad. But again, you have to remind yourself 2013 hardware is in play, and they have to obviously make compromises. But again, it's not just about the graphics, the gameplay, and just kind of the things that you were doing throughout this. Like, it just didn't look revolutionary. It just didn't seem like this revolutionary title that so many people came away a few years ago at E3 and said, we saw this behind closed doors presentation of Cyberpunk 2077 before they showed the public the gameplay. You know how everyone was talking about, oh, it's this revolutionary title, it's this, it's that. And then we come away from it now, many years later, with this deep dive video, and it's like, Jesus, guys, this is not looking good. So they're definitely going to have to do some work here. They're definitely going to have to take this ship and steer it in the right direction. And I think in how you do that is you have to stop talking about your product and you have to start showing. It's really as simple as that. But you fanboys are going to be like, oh, Michael, you just a hater. No, I'm critical because I care. If you can't wrap your head around that idea, then that's on you, not me, okay?